Hey everyone, it's your friendly neighborhood Tangent here. How have you been these past couple days? I know it's been pretty tough. I am headed back to home on this beautiful Wednesday morning for me. And I wanted to make a couple of car vlogs for you guys because I got a decent distance to travel. So let's hope, because I have no space on my phone to record backups, let's actually hope that I have everything fixed on my dash cam and can now reliably record car vlogs from it. If not, then I'm going to have to get some sort of recording setup in my car that is not illegal. That's going to be fun. Actually, I don't know what's illegal and what, well, I do and I don't. I don't imagine that setting a GoPro camera to look at your face and setting a microphone that does not interfere with your driving is technically illegal, but I also imagine that if I do something a bit too flashy and big, then people will question it and I will get pulled over and it will suck, which is probably why a lot of car vloggers do record on their phone. At least from what I've seen, it appears like they're recording on their phone. But anyway, let's hope the dash cam works. Let's absolutely hope that it works. Because last time I tried to do this, it didn't record any audio because the audio was on mute. The time before that, I got a couple of corrupted files, which screwed me the hell over. And it does that every once in a while. Well, every once in a while, I get corrupted files. But I found in the last one that it wasn't really that the file was corrupted, it was just that the microphone was set to mute. Don't know why. I have no idea. But anyway, at the moment, I am waiting to get in a better spot to call my dad back. I was on a phone call with him while I drive, and I lost bars in a bad spot. Can't really listen to music. Well, actually, music was working, but you know, I'm out in the middle of nowhere right now, so that's to be expected. So, the question is, what do we want to talk about this fine day? I'm sure we've got plenty of topics. I don't have plenty of requests. I'm up to 41 subscribers. I'm really, really happy about that. I really am. I'm hoping to get more. As some of you newer people may not know about car vlogs unless you've gone poking through my channel. Some of you older subscribers may be happy to see car vlogs again. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not getting a lot of views yet, and that's perfectly fine. This is also for me, and I'm doing this for fun. But at this point, because I stopped car vlogs for a while, and I've been doing, home vlogs with the state of everything, I would like to talk about my channel and address what we're doing and where it's going. So, I recorded a video yesterday, which I uploaded this morning for me, a couple days ago probably for you, talking about Tuesdays. And if you haven't watched that video, go ahead and go watch it. I don't want to go through the entire spiel here, but I'd love to discuss it with a community of people and a community of people that, I'd love to discuss it with a community of people and determine and think critically on what the best thing for me to do is. Not for my channel, but as an ethical human being. But I have a video for that already. Go ahead and go watch it. Right now, let's talk about my channel and what it is. Right, so my channel. What is it? Where are we going from here? And what do I want to do? These are very good questions that that any YouTuber or vlogger should probably talk about, not just once, but every once in a while as we go along, because we're always getting new viewers, whether it's new subscribers or just curious people or an algorithm, whatever. And our audience is constantly changing. I've learned that from being a Tumblr blogger for years. You know, I have a ton of dedicated followers on Tumblr. I'm not that Tumblr famous, so I have like 400 subscribers on Tumblr. That's actually, to some people, that's pretty big, but I keep comparing myself to people with like thousands of subscribers or millions, and it, you know, in that sense, it feels like I'm not big, and I'm trying to be humble. I don't want to act like I'm some famous person when I'm not. I'd love to be, I'm not. But 400 is still a decent number, and I have some dedicated subscribers or some dedicated followers on Tumblr that have been there since the beginning. I also have some dedicated followers on Tumblr that have been there for 10 months, and eventually they disappear and I get new dedicated followers, and it's just, you know, that's the way of the world. People have lives. They're not necessarily disappearing because they don't like you. They just, everybody is following hundreds of people on the internet. I mean, try to count the number of channels on YouTube that you're subscribed to. Some people might be subscribed to 10 or 20 and they might manage their subscriptions very well. Other people find a video that they like and they subscribe to the channel, and then later they find out that they have like thousands of free subscriptions on YouTube and Tumblr and everywhere, and it's just a fiasco, and they haven't seen somebody's stuff in months. It's just the way it is. Just the way it is. So, it's good to talk about what your channel is and what you're trying to do with it. Every once in a while, at least once a year, I do it more than that. I don't know what a good time frame is. I don't necessarily want to drive you guys insane with the same video over and over again, but it's going to be different because my words are going to change every time, and as my channel grows and evolves, and as I grow and evolve, well, I am going to grow and evolve, and my perspectives are going to change. So, I've introduced myself before, and you can find it several times. My name is Tangent on the internet. I am a writer, and I am a bit of what people would call a Renaissance man. I would prefer Renaissance personality because my gender is not stable whatsoever. That is something that I've been vague about just because I'm not necessarily ashamed of it. I'm not necessarily in the closet. I just don't feel like dealing with people every time I bring it up. So it just, you can see the gender fluid flag on my channel icon. You know, I'm not hiding it. And I just don't. If you are so, I don't really want to call anyone ignorant, but if you are unaware of the flag, or if you are closed-minded and so against it that you don't notice, and every time I bring it up you're going to attack me, I don't want to deal with you. Why is my phone unmuted? Yes, that was the Power Rangers beep. Hush. Okay, my phone's on vibrate, on silent now, so that won't mess me up. But, regardless, I am a Renaissance personality. I do a million different things, and sometimes it makes me struggle when it comes to launching any of them, because quite honestly, I am a writer at the core, but I'm also a game design student. I am a crafter that loves to make props. I really want to get into painting. I've recently discovered Paracord. I love YouTube, and I love making co-vlogs. I am a gamer that loves first-person shooters and fantasy and JRPG and just about every genre you can think of, all the way down to dating sims, because those are freaking lit, man. You know, I'm into everything, and I love doing everything. I love doing Let's Plays. I'm loving the Apex streams. I love car vlogs, and I really, really want to publish a book. All that hecticness, all that excitement in my voice, I'm doing that on purpose because I want it to sound crazy, because I want to convey to you exactly how it feels in my mind 24/7. That is everything. That is everything that I'm thinking about every single day, all the time. So keeping anything on track and focusing on a single job or a single interest is very, very difficult because I have ADHD and I have a lot of interests. It sucks. But it's fun, but it sucks. So, you've heard all that before. And if you haven't, you're starting to get it. Car vlogs, I'm really attached to, and I've always wanted to do them because I won't say I'm a decent speaker. I'm learning very quickly that I am not a decent speaker when speaking to a camera without anyone else in the car. And there's also the fact that as someone with ADHD, as someone with one or possibly multiple undiagnosed neurodivergent, I want to say disorders, but I don't like saying disorders, but someone with possibly multiple neurodivergencies, that's a good way to put it. It is hard for me to keep up with my brain. It is hard for my brain to keep on track. Every once in a while there is a train wreck in my mind, but the best way to describe the way my mind works, that some people might hear and point you to what I've said or quote what I've said, I've heard them do it, is a lot of people have a train of thought. I have an entire transit system of thought, and it is in its own little way, in its own little chaotic way, organized. Chaotically organized. That is an oxymoron, but it's true. I have multiple, I cannot even count, trains of thought. I have multiple tracks, I have multiple trains going in multiple different directions, and they are very good at not necessarily running into each other, but they do have to make sure not to run into each other. So every once in a while, all those trains in my head, one of them has to slow down and wait for another one to leave the station and then pull in, or one of them has to, deal with another issue, or sometimes, there's something on the tracks, or there's some sort of train malfunction. Running an entire transit system of thoughts is difficult, and I get distracted, or my thoughts get ahead of my communication skills and my ability to speak. I don't really have a limited vocabulary, but I have a limited vocabulary available to my conscious mind at any specific moment. And I might be trying to say something and completely forget a word like ubiquitous, and that is the exact word that I need in that moment. So I'm talking and go, it's a word that means that, and then I'm stuck. And you notice me doing that in videos all the time. I've already gone off on a tangent. My name is Tangent. You should learn to expect that. It's just me. But that's how my brain works. So I can't say that I am a good speaker, but I at least have 26 years of experience working with a transit system of thoughts, and therefore I have a lot to think about, and I have a lot to talk about, and I am very philosophically oriented. You can thank my father for that. I am a philosopher, and I plan to become a doctor of philosophy in the distant future, once I have the financial stability to pursue a doctorate in which the only thing that I can do with it is teach or write. I'm going to be a writer, so I love doing car vlogs. When I'm in the car with other people, we get in really deep philosophical discussions that I think, it would be great if people could actually listen to this, whether we're right or wrong. It's like having a talk show. Whenever I talk to my dad, it's like a talk show. whenever I talk to the love interest, it can become like a talk show. Although two people on the spectrum talking, and no offense to anyone on the spectrum, this is just reality that both of us have accepted. Two people on or near the spectrum having a delicate conversation can often become heated and frustrated, and we love each other and we're not actually angry at each other. But when when both of us have trouble communicating and keeping up with ourselves, then it can be difficult, and it's fun. It really is, but it's interesting to listen to because it's just great. You know, if you're from an outside perspective and you haven't been with either of us for as long as we've been around each other, and you hear us getting heated, you're like, oh shit. Meanwhile, we eventually stop. We've learned over years, and we go, we're getting really heated here. Is it aimed at us? It's like, no, not aimed at you. We're good. Everything's fine. Okay, cool. Do you want to keep talking? Actually, no. We're getting a little heated. Let's stop for a minute. Okay, cool. But that's how I am. That's how I am with my dad. That's how I am with the love interest. That's sometimes how I am with my mom. And because of that, I love to talk and I love to chat in the car. The car is my comfort space. It is where I've gone to vent my issues for years. If I need to talk to someone, I go on a drive with them. That's just what I do. Because of that, I love car vlogs. And I expect, or I plan to be respectful and thoughtful and healthy. I do not want to be a toxic person on the internet. But I do not plan to shy away from all controversy, because discussion and critical thinking is important. And as a philosopher, as someone who's taken Philosophy 1 and who has studied philosophy all of their lives, I understand that an argument does not necessarily mean a nasty argument. An argument in philosophy is what a lot of people might call a debate on a debate team. We will get into arguments, and they might be civil arguments. That arguments don't necessarily mean we're angry with each other. But that's a part of discussion, and that's a part of becoming a better society, is discussing topics, even if they cause some critical discussion, and if they're hard to talk about. And I want to talk about these things. You know, I want to talk about what matters to me, and I want to share my opinions. And the other part of that, the important part of that, is if it ever becomes clear to me that I was wrong, then I'll happily talk about it. You know, if anyone has a refutation, then I'll hear them out. That doesn't mean that they're going to change my mind, but I will listen. That also doesn't mean I'll listen the 20th time when it's the same refutation by a different person. You know, eventually we all get tired, we all get frustrated, and I try very hard to be civil, but everybody's human and everybody gets frustrated. But that's what car vlogs is about. Talking about my life, talking about things going on in the world. Not necessarily a political vlog, but an open vlog. An open vlog to talk, to speak my mind openly. Not uncensored, not without political correctness. I mean, we can talk about the rights and wrongs of political correctness. I'm not prepared to do that right now. But openly. That's the point of car vlogs. And I would love them to remain on my channel forever. But I also love doing Let's Plays, and I also want to make other content, a lot of other content. I like Markiplier's personal philosophy of not making too many channels. Markiplier has stated that he only has one channel and he only ever intends to have one channel because dividing up the traffic can... I don't know if he said it this way, but after years of letting it sink in and after months of not hearing him say it, the way that I remember it is that dividing up your viewer base among a ton of different channels can mess with your revenue, can mess with your viewer base. It is better, in Markiplier's mind, to traffic everyone into one channel where all of his content is, and it doesn't get confusing and it doesn't mess him up and everybody knows what's going on. That, I love that philosophy. That said, I was recording so many Apex Legends videos that I've made a second channel for it, and I'll promote that when I'm ready. It's not really all set up yet. It's there. I haven't uploaded a lot of videos or anything. I did not want to flood a variety channel with a bunch of just casual Apex Legends videos that I've recorded just because I'm playing it. That will, in my mind, that will confuse and distract the variety that my channel is meant to have. I do Tuesday and Thursday Apex streams. I've been doing a lot more Let's Plays because I'm stuck at the house, and I want to continue to do Let's Plays. At some point, if car vlogs are no longer appropriate for this channel, then I might divide everything up more. But I would like as much as I can to remain on one channel. But that is going to be Let's Plays, and I do want to do more Let's Plays. There are certain games that I downloaded and specifically want to record. I want to possibly do live streams of Spider-Man on Ultimate Mode, because that'll be fun. There's a game, I can't remember the name of it. It is not Sekiro. It is another game, Fury. There's a game, Fury, that I fell in love with the music, because I absolutely love music in video games. And when I fell in love with the music and I started reading comments about it, I immediately started avoiding spoilers. I got it on my computer. I'm like, I have to do a Let's Play of this, because this is my kind of game. This is really good music. It seems like, I don't want to call it a slasher game, but a samurai fighting game, basically. And it seems like it has some good plot twists, and I want to do a Let's Play of that. I really do. I love Fury. I hope the Let's Plays go well. I hope that people don't start coming on my channel and going, "Boo, get back to the car vlogs," or "No, we only want Apex." No. I want to do different live streams. I want to do a variety of live streams. I want to do different videos, and I don't even want them to all be directed at video games or car vlogs. There is also, my writing, which I'll talk about in car vlogs, and I'll talk about in everything, and my game design classes that I want to talk about, all of that, I love to talk about that stuff. It's kind of what car vlogs is for. But the last thing is, love interest is back in my life, and before she was out of my life, she and I talked about doing a Game Grumps style Let's Play channel. If things go well, which we're both hoping that they do, and we're both treading lightly to try to make sure that they do, then absolutely we will think about doing that. Whether or not those show up on this channel or it becomes its own channel, I have no idea, because that's entirely different. That's having someone else with me talking, I'd love to have my dad have like a talk show type thing with me in the car or whatever. I could do guest car vlogs. That would be fantastic. We could do that eventually. But as for the love interest, we're thinking about doing a Game Grumps style Let's Play thing. And what we would like to do with that is I play through her childhood video games with her, and she plays through my childhood video games with me. And another thing that I want to play through with her that we might take turns, I might do all of the gameplay, I'm not entirely sure, is I want to, in chronological order, play every single Final Fantasy game on YouTube. Because I love it. I really do. But I've gone off on so many tangents, which is great, about what I want to do with this channel and where I want to take it. That's really where we're going. That's really what I'm thinking about right now when it comes to making these videos. Beyond that, just give you a quick update on my personal life at the tail end of this video. Yes, I did go visit my grandfather. Yes, I am going back home. Since the beginning of all this stuff that's going on, I know I tell you guys to stay safe, and I believe I will continue to. I believe that will continue to be my outro. That is a great way to put it, as opposed to just drive safe, because I was driving at the beginning. I am staying safe too. And nobody has challenged me on that, but I would like to, without even being challenged, come out and say that. I have only been to 3 households since all of this started, and I will continue to only be between those 3. And within those 3 households, I practice social distancing. I make sure that I am not infected if I'm going to another household. I make sure that they are not infected, and I still make sure I'm not infected when I go back, all of that. I live with a senior citizen at my main household who is not immunocompromised, but they are a senior citizen, which means they are at risk, and I have to be responsible about that. The love interest is immunocompromised, and their mother is currently visiting, so I have to be conscious about that. And my grandfather is now immunocompromised because of medical issues, and so I have to be conscious about that. So please trust me when I say that those 3 households that I've been to, we've all been very conscious about it, and we've been very careful not to cross-contaminate between the 3, but we've also been very careful to make sure that all 3 are, what's the word I'm looking for? See, this is what I'm talking about. Sterile. Are safe. So, yeah, I'm doing car vlogs right now because it's a long trip back, but I'm not just going out unmasked to a ton of grocery stores and walking around and talking to people. No, I mean, when I need essentials, I go out and get essentials. Otherwise, I stay between those 3 households, I stay in my car, I keep my mask on. When I'm outside of those households, we're playing it safe, alright? That's all I'm going to say. I am not going to say those words that are getting people on YouTube censored because it sucks, but that's the reality. Alright, and I want you guys to know that I am practicing what I preach when it comes to stay safe. And I might not be staying as socially distant as I could be were I to just remain reclusive, but the other 2 households are going through very important things that I want to be a part of, and these are very important people in my life, and I cannot remain distant from them. I have to, or I choose to help them, and I know the risks that come along with that. Now then, that's not all that's going on. There's a bunch of other stuff going on, and with my Tuesday video, Hope made clear my stance on that. I'm not being careful because I'm afraid of people attacking me or afraid of admitting where I stand. I'm being careful because, unfortunately, the current climate when it comes to making videos and putting them on the internet is over-censorship. And I will just immediately say that. It is over-censorship. So, I want to be a voice and I want to be heard, But I beat around the bush, not for my audience, but so that the automated algorithms do not keep me from being heard. So hopefully we all know where I stand and who I agree with and what's going on. But I am aware that this is a stressful time, and I want to remind you all that it gets better. There are the bad days and the good days. Life is a roller coaster, but it will get better again. And we are working towards a better community. And I am here for you. And I am making videos to be a part of making that better future. So please, please keep your hopes up and stay safe out there. Alright? Be safe in what you do. Be mindful in what you do. Be safe. Absolutely be safe. And remember, I love all of you. Until the next time, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you in the next video. I love you guys. See you later.